I haven't entered a fighting game major in years. Someone asked me if I was going to Evo this year, and I said, Lord willing, no. And I'm not going to Texas Showdown because it's way too close. I'm definitely broke. The Texas Showdown I would have gone to if I had more money. But here's the thing: everyone has less money now. It's just like the way of the world. My hair is crazy today. It just doesn't want to stay in the beanie. It sucks. There's too much other stuff going on in the world for like fighting game tournaments to cost as much as they do. And it's not the tournaments themselves, right? I think most fighting game tournaments, the entry and venue fee is like roughly the same, right? It used to be like, it was like $50 to $70 to register for most events. 50 to let's say 50 to 80 to register for most events. That's if you do early bird, or if you're doing late reg, or if the event is just a little more expensive than others, right? And I think that's gone up. I think the cheapest I've seen even for early bird is like 60, 65 for some of these events now. And going up to like 100 late reg. That's a pretty penny increase, right? It doesn't seem like a lot, but you're piling that on top of plane tickets or gas and a hotel, food for the weekend. Ooh, and that is just registration for the event. That is not signing up for any of the brackets. The brackets are actually the cheapest thing. It really sucks. Like, so you pay all this money to go to the event, you pay to play in the fighting game tournament and hang out in like the convention area. And then playing in the event is only $10 or $15. There's always been a prevailing argument that we need to up the amount of money it costs to enter events. Like, oh, we should just change how much it costs to enter the event. If the event costs more, or if the bracket costs more, then it'll work out better, right? Like, there's no reason not to. Let me pull up my handy dandy calculator. So, the assumption is, in a perfect world, boop, that's a tiny little calculator. Not very big. Let's make that calculator big. Why is it only half of the calculator? What's going on? What's going on? Where's the other half of my calculator? Is that the full calculator? Okay, that looks like the full calculator, right? I think we're not missing anything. So, in a perfect world, say you enter a Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers is like one of the more alive, competitive fighting games, if you want to consider Smash a fighting game. Or Guilty Gear Strive, maybe even Dragon Ball, right? Some of the more alive fighting games that exist right now. So say you go to a large event out of town, maybe even out of state, right? Like, I'm in Texas. Say I drive to Oklahoma. Shout out to Super Bit Wars, right? And I enter their Tekken 7 event. The Tekken 7 event has 54 people. It's a Super Smash Brothers event. So let's say it's a good day. Let's say it has full cap bracket of 128, right? Because a lot of these events, they're not super small. 128's relatively small for like a major. Let's say you're going for something smaller, but it's close enough to you that you can warrant driving, right? 128. Normally, entry fee is $1. So that means the full amount in the bracket is $1,280. Now, that's all the money put in by all competitors in that bracket, only to be split between either A, depending on the size of the event and the scale, top 8, or top 3. Say it's split between top 8. I think it's like 1%, 1%, 3%, 3%, 5%, 5%. Is that right? Man, it's been so long since I've like looked at a bracket. Looked at payouts for like FGT events. It's like, it's very small for the low end, right? So like, say you get 7th or 5th or 5th. You get like 1% and 1% or 3% and 3%. Usually that's what I remember it being. So you get $12. Actually, would it be $12? They're not gonna give you $12 It's gonna be $12. You're gonna get $12. That sounds awful. Damn. So let's take out $24. Well, because then I need to find 3%. What would 3% of this be? That's not 3%. That's 30%. Fuck. Oh, I have a number pad. I'm so stupid. $38. So if you get 5th, you get 30. Well, they'd probably round you up because they rounded 7th place down, right? So you get $39. You get $39 each. If you're in Oklahoma, it's probably your gas money, maybe, depending on what part of Oklahoma you're in, because that's not a super small state. Or driving in from North Texas, right? Or the state right above Oklahoma. Cool. And the money progressively gets better the higher you place. And this argument has always come up that why don't we just laterally raise that $20? Just double it. Just double it. Just double it. Just double it. Don't even think about any other course of action, any other factors. Just double the amount that players have to play to enter an event. So, okay, let's do that real quick. In a perfect world, let's take that 128 people and multiply that number by 20. Whoa, we doubled the pot, which is rational and makes absolute logical sense when you take the amount of money and you double when you take the amount of entrance, the exact same amount of entrance, but double the amount of money. Now, you have to think about all the other factors that go into a tournament and the number of people who enter brackets just because they're already there, right? A lot of people, when they go to fighting game events, they want to hang out, they want to play in as many tournaments as possible and just vibe out. I know people who have played in games that they've never played in before because they're like, ah, fuck it, it's $10, or ah, fuck it, it's $5, or whatever, right? And they're like, I already paid $60 to register, $70 to register for the event. That's what playing a few games, even if I've never played them before, or if I've played them, but I'm not very good at them. There's no reason to just play a few games. Let's play a few, right? So when you think about it that way, a lot of those players who are doing that or wanted to do that would probably do that less frequently, right? So say in a perfect world, we'll use Smash as an example, right? So we'll use Smash as an example because it has the most and least crossover at the exact same time, which is super weird to think about. And I'll let you wrap your head around that as I talk about it. So Super Smash Bros. Has two main games. Right now, the main game is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Super Smash Bros. Melee before Smash 4 and Melee. So there's always the newest Smash game plus Melee. And it will always be that way until the day the newest Smash game dies, because Melee is not going to die. Melee is going to be around forever. Melee is forever. Anyways, so if you look at that, that means, say the cap for a bracket is 640 people. That makes a perfect 64, rounded up, right? Just perfect 64 times 10, which is what you want. So you'd be looking at 640 players times 10. Oh, $6,400. That's really good. But the amount of these players who only entered because they were already there and the event was $10 to enter is a thing. Some of these players will drop off, right? So say we take that full number of players, we multiply it by 20. Yes, we've doubled the amount of entrants, but we might have cut the amount of people who entered now. Maybe the bracket doesn't even fill up because now it costs $20 instead of 10 to enter. And a lot of these people, they only wanted to play melee doubles. They were just there to play melee doubles with their friend, but they're an ultimate player, or they're not very good at melee and they only entered it because, well, I'm already here and it was only $10, so there was no reason not to enter. I thought it would be fun. $20 for fun compared to $10 for fun. Sure, it's less than the cost of 2 movie tickets for a date, but it may be different when there's so many other factors, right? Once again, cost of gas or a flight, hotel, food accommodations for the weekend. It's not always black and white of doubling the amount of money put into the pot to pay the players more, right? The FGC is, unfortunately, we say this all the time, the FGC is poverty. The FGC, they don't make a lot of money. We don't, because normally the best events ran are grassroots events. Our events ran by people who play the games, love the games, and want to be there for the community, not doing it for other intentions like making lots of money or making sponsors super duper happy. And that money that is made off each registration of the event doesn't immediately go into the pot because there's so many other things happening, right? Even if they get a sponsor, that money doesn't immediately go into pots because there's so many other things happening. But what? I hate the games. How can I help? I guess you can't. You're not a TO. You've never been a TO, right? So if a big bracket gets a sponsor, or I'm going to close this out. We don't need this for the example anymore. A big bracket or a big tournament gets a sponsor for something like 20, I wouldn't even say 20 G's, 2 G's, 3 G's, right? $3,000, $4,000. And they have 20 staff people. Do you think that they're going to spend that $2,000 on pop bonuses to attract bigger players and better names? Or do you think they're going to use that money to pay for the venue, the internet for the event, so they can stream it and make some of that money back on ad revenue and subscriptions for the weekend, paying their staff, paying their TOs, paying their bracket runners, and ensuring getting setups, right? I think there's a disconnect between the players who want more money in the scene and the players who understand what it's like to be in a TO shoes and understand that there's so many other factors that need to be considered before immediately saying, yep, gonna start throwing money at events, right? When I used to run events, I ran events here in my city, large enough ones in my city, right? We don't have an extremely active fighting game scene, and we haven't for a really long time. But when we had a relatively active fighting game scene split up between multiple games, I decided it would be a great idea to just bring everything all in-house, one place, just trying to knock it all out. I did a tri-monthly or a quarterly, right? Would that be a quarterly? I guess 4 times a year. Yeah, quarterly. Fuck, I did a quarterly event. Oh, what a beatdown. Maybe it was a monthly. I don't remember. It's either a monthly or a quarterly event where I would get all the games that were being played at the time, or as many games that I could see had interest at the time, and place them all into one venue under one roof, charge a venue fee, registration fee per tournament, and you just talk to that TO, you enter the bracket, play for the day, and then boom, right? A convention style, very large style tournament, but only in one day, right? Because that's all I could afford venue wise. Now, the venue fee was $10. Does that full $10 go to the venue? No, it doesn't. That full $10 gets split between me paying staff if they're not volunteering, securing people who want to bring setups. You get part off your venue fee because you brought a setup, and the venue. I actually saw almost no money, to be quite honest. I'd say almost no money, right? And any amount of money that I got extra that I saw, it didn't usually go towards bonuses. I'd volunteer for your venue gamer. Thank you. I appreciate that. What game do you want to run? Right, and that's because I didn't have a big team of people, but I did have a lot of games, right? So people were spread thin, running around like crazy with their chickens with their head cut off, right? We had, I believe the first What a Beatdown is Farmville a game? Yeah, we can do Farmville. We can do Farmville runs. Hell yeah. The first like bigger successful What a Beatdown was 100 and I think there was 113 people in attendance. 113 people, and about half of them together were for Smash. Right? I think it was like 60 or 70% of it was Smash 4, and because this was back in the day, like I said, was Smash 4, and then the other 35 to 40% was Melee. Right? So about half of the venue that I had in there was for Smash, and the other half of the venue was fighting games, split up between Soul Calibur 2, Soul Calibur 6. Everyone who entered Soul Calibur 2 also entered Soul Calibur 6, which was pretty cool. That makes sense. Smash sucks. No, those were the biggest games. Street Fighter 5, Mortal Kombat X, Dragon Ball Fighters, and Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. Don't know why people wanted it, but people wanted it. I think Wonderful Deluxe was there for that one. I think it was like 8 people who entered Grand Blue, or like 6 people who entered Grand Blue. Anyways, what I'm getting at here, BB Tag had like 6 entrants. Yeah, I don't know why people asked me to run. I'm still not sure to this day. It's one of the things that I sleep on. I was the only person locally who entered BB Tag. So we had 5 out-of-towners come in for BB Tag, and you. How does that feel? Did you defend Corpus? Did you win? I don't think you did, right? Man, that's good. That's hilarious. No, I got smoked. I don't play BB Tag. That's pretty good. Right, so that event, we had a $50 bonus on a few of the games. I think one of them was BB Tag. One of them was Smash 4. Was it $50 or $100? I think it was like $100 on top of each game. And that money actually came from the venue and myself, right? We raised money to pull in people. And, of course, $100, or I guess maybe it was $50. Yeah, it's $50 for 4 games because it was $200, $100 from me and $100 from the venue owner. Yo, what's good? How you doing, Tune? That money came from the venue as a way to try to rope people in to make more money, right? So that $100 investment that he made, plus electricity, plus having venue space for everyone, was returned by having over 100 people, which brings in over $1,000, right? $10 a head, so over $1,000, and he got roughly 60% of that, right? So $600 back in his pocket for his initial $100 investment. Then paid a few people. I paid Smash Bracket Runners since they had so many people on their hands. Paid the Soul Calibur Bracket Runners so that I could play, because if I had to run it, I was going to stress out and I was going to end up losing. It happened one of the weeks where I only lost because I was stressed out running like 4 tournaments at the same time. Funny. And I never lost to any of those motherfuckers again. And who else did I pay? I think that was it. I think it was just the Smash Bracket Runners and the Soul Calibur Bracket Runner. Everyone else was volunteer. And then some of the money was cut off the top for people who brought in setups. So we had about, I want to say 35 to 40 setups in the room. I never lost either. Yeah, you only lost to me. You ran a tournament recently? No, this was a long time ago because I'm talking about Smash 4, right? You ever think about that? Maybe you lost that week because the other guys were just playing really well. I want you to think about that really hard, Wonderful Looks. I want you to think about that really hard. Yeah, you guys are going to have to play really well to ever beat me in Soul Calibur 6. Okay. I want you to think long and hard about what you just said. Anyways, that week, the venue made roughly $600 before thinking about how much money they lost on other events that wanted to be run in the venue, right? Because they were a card game store. So they had a lot less table space for card games. They had a lot less like card sales and sleeves, and all of that also comes into factor for running like even just local events, right? That ballroom that a big FGC event would use for a weekend, that could go to a convention that's going to make them more money and not use as much electricity, not use internet. I always think with the right amount of hardness. I always think long and hard because I can never think short and soft. Are you guys okay? Are you guys, is everything okay over there? Yeah, you guys are getting weird on me. Anyways, basically, the way that you have to think of a fighting game tournament as a TO is making back your initial investment or not losing a lot of money. Because you're not really doing it for you, you're doing it for the community, and making sure that the venue makes back your money, makes back their money, so they're not on bad blood or have bad blood with the event in question, right? So that, hey, we want to come back, we want to make you a little bit more money if we can. We need the amount of space that we had last time, maybe a bigger expansion, so that we can continue like a symbiotic relationship, right? As a TO, you mean a Theo? That's a Theo. That's not a TO. T.O. Tournament organizer. As a tournament organizer, you're really making it difficult for me. I'm Mexican uncle. Because that symbiotic relationship makes it so that like smaller FGC events, grassroots events can continue to grow. Because you see all these big name events, right? The Evos, the Combo Breakers, the CEOs, the Defend the Norths, Canada Cups. These have already established themselves and usually use hotel ballrooms. But these smaller events, they use bars, they use local libraries. I've never seen an event ran at a local library, but I've heard of a fighting game event ran at a local library. College and high school gyms, card game stores. That happens a lot too. Video game stores, like mom and pop shops usually that have the extra space. I believe we used to have our locals at a place here called Play Again. They had another room called the Casual Gamer. And for a long time, a lot of our fighting game tournaments ran right next door to a local video game store called Play Again in its arcade division, the Casual Gamer. And not focusing on the money first, the players' money first, unfortunately. Because like they say, the FGC is property. Not focusing on the players' money first and focusing on the venue's money first and the experience of the players, like everyone just having a good time, is how you start to build bonds, build rapport in the community, right? They're like, oh, dude, that event was sick. Well, did you make a lot of money? Nah, but like the event was sick. It was ran really well. Everyone was having fun. The games were on time. That's a big one. The games were on time. They had a stream set up. Like, Casual gamer lost money every event. Yeah. And I think that's why casual gamers stopped having us. That's why they stopped having us. I think I was there for some of those. I was there for the early MK9 days. Very early MK9 days. Yeah, I think that was something that I tried to work out with the owner of the card shop that I was running events in, is making sure that he wasn't losing money. Now, unfortunately, he really fucking hated the Smash community. They were betting on people buying food and stuff like that there, and they didn't. Yeah, so that was something that I had to work out with the owner of the card shop that I was running events in for What a Beatdown, right? For the name of my namesake event that no longer exists. This isn't a hypothetical. This isn't a made-up name for a tournament. I shit you not. It was really the name of the event because I am Texan, and I was trying to think of the name for an event, and there was a Whataburger right in front of me, and I was driving, and I was like, What a Beatdown. That's a great name. What the fuck? That's hilarious. Tried to talk to Whataburger about sponsoring the event. Never heard back from them, but but fortunately for them, the event is dead now, so they don't have to sue me for copyright infringement. Anyways, my first goal was always making sure the TO was straight. Shout out to Texas. That's what I'm saying. My first goal was always make sure that the event is going to make the TO money. My second bulletin point, or my second point, was always making sure the players had a good time and the brackets were as close to random time as possible. My third was hoping that the players from out of town had good enough incentives or made enough money to continue to come back. And I say had enough incentives because sometimes it's just like, can they get a carpool together? And I just throw that carpool $20 for gas so they'll come back. Because I don't care about spending $20 for two carpools, one from San Antonio, one from Laredo, or one from Laredo, one from El Paso, or, you know, if they're coming into the event, having fun, making new friends, talking to each other, talking to the other players from other cities or from here, then they'll think of my event the next time. They're like, dude, we want to travel out of town for an event again. Oh, we want to travel we don't mind traveling a few hours, because it was a good time, because it was fun. Not because, oh, dude, yeah, the event, it costed $25 to enter each bracket, but we made a shitload of money. We're coming back. That's not the point, because not everyone is going to make that money, right? The people who are going to make that money, that initial calculation I showed off at the beginning, how most events, it's $10 to enter the bracket, but it's like $20 to enter the room for the day, or $40 to enter the room for the day, $10 to enter the room for the day. The people who make the money are at the top end. And I cannot guarantee that you will be at the top end of the room and want to come back for the money reasons. The only thing I can do is try to guarantee that everyone will want to come back for the fun reasons, right? Because there's only 3 people in top 3, or there's only 8 people in top 8. So if those are the only people being paid out of a 90-man bracket or a 50-man bracket, then that means that the other people are going to have to think about the other experiences that make them enjoy the room and the people around them, right? So before you guys think, oh yeah, it might be a good idea for them to just start upping the amount of money that it costs to enter each bracket at a fighting game event, think to yourself, when was the last time you entered a tournament and thought to yourself, I'm doing this so I can make a lot of money? I'm going to let you know, I've won a lot of Soul Calibur tournaments. Every time, shut the fuck up, wonderful. How much money did you make off winning DNF Duel? Doing everything to make a lot of money. How much did you win from that? 250? All right, that's a pretty decent smackaroos. That's some good money. I'll shut the fuck up now. You got me. At Roundhouse? Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Right, I went to the Valley for one of their very, very early Soul Calibur 6 tournaments. I think I had just bought my arcade stick. I had a Combo Obsidian. It was my first stick that I had for the PS4, PS5 generation. Maybe it wasn't. It wasn't. It was this. I have it. That's my Rap 4 that I found. I'm lying. It was my Silent Rep 4. It was this one. My bad. I got this for like $40 or $50. And I thought I lost it, but then I ended up finding it in like it was in like a closet. Not here, at like my other apartment. We eaten off fighting game winnings. What the fuck? Yeah, he is at least, right? Lucky him. So I had just gotten this stick. I bought it from someone in town for like $40 because they were like, oh, I'm out of fighting games. I don't really want to play anymore. And I was like, all right, Soul Calibur 6 just came out. I played the first tournament on pad. I never want to play on pad again. I want to go back to stick like I did for Soul Calibur 3, Soul Calibur 4, and Soul Calibur 5. And I drove down to the valley with some friends. I don't remember what city it was in. Maybe it was San Benito? That doesn't sound right. It was probably San Benito because I remember the name San Benito, so it's got to be. It's somewhere down there and like really close to the border. Like if you spit really high in the air, you might make it to your spit might make it to Mexico. It might cross the border. Someone might come arrest you. And I won their very first Soul Calibur 6 bracket down there with, was I solo Keelik? I think I played one game of Zos or one round. I played winners round 1 with Zos, and I felt very uncomfortable that I won. Like I was like, I feel like I won because they didn't know how to beat it. It felt weird. I don't like the way this is playing. So I played Keelik for the neutral play, and Keelik was also a better character back then. He had a lot, or I guess in relation to the other characters in the game. He's worse now because other characters got buffed crazy and he got nerfed like once, and it was like really fucked up nerfs. Anyways, I won the entire bracket, basically solo Keelik. I think I won. I can't remember how, because it was. Let me do the math real quick. I just have to do the math because I remember that there was 62 people. So hold on. 62. Oh, not times 52. 62 times 15. Oh, whoa, 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 not that much. 62. Whoa. Times 15. It was $15 a head, $5 venue. When your opponent outplays you, that's gimmicks and neutral skips. I thought I was the one being gimmicky and skipping neutral. That's why I was like, I don't want to do this. Because I thought maybe someone would figure out how to beat it, and then I would look like a fucking chump playing the character. And then I realized I'm better with Zos. I like gimmicking people, and it's funny. Times, yeah, I did that right. And then it was 70%. Wait, stop doing that. Oh, I'm bad. Hold on. 62 people times 15. I'm having the worst time right now. 0.7. There we go. Ew! Holy shit! I didn't remember how much money it was. It might have been 60%. So let's do 930 times 60. That looks wrong. Maybe it was 60. 930 times 60? Yeah, that looks right. I think it was like $550. Okay, maybe it was 60%. Maybe it was like 60, 30, 10 or something. Not 70, 20, 10. It was probably 60, 30, 10. Okay. Anyways, I won about $550. But when I went back the second and third time, there was significantly less players. Right? It was that was the first week of the game or second week of the game. And a lot of people had eyes on the game and wanted to try it because they remembered Soul Calibur from Soul Calibur 2. They were like, oh, Soul Calibur. I remember that game had Link and Yoda and Star Killer and Darth Vader and Ezio. Like, oh, that's a cool game. And then they played it and they were like, okay, maybe it's not for me. Or, it's not as fun as the old ones. Or, I'm just not cut out to play Soul Calibur competitively. Maybe I'll just play it casually, right? Whatever their reasoning may be, they no longer wanted to play Soul Calibur in a tournament setting, right? A lot of them were just like, no, I'll play something else instead if I enter one of these events again. They only played it because the Zos player shits on everyone. So they didn't want it. No, I played one round as Zos. Okay, if I ruined the first player's experience, if only Link was an SC6 true, maybe I ruined the first player's experience because it was like winners round 1 of the stream. Maybe I ruined his experience. And they only put me on stream because I was out of town. They thought I was going to lose, which is fucked up, by the way. That's what I was told. But the next time I went back, about 6 months later, there was only, I want to say there was only about, there was like 18 people or 19 people, right? And they kept that same payout structure. And I knew that there was only going to be about 18 or 19 people. Right? They were like, we got like 16. It's gonna be like a 16-man bracket or whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, cool. I'll still come on down. It was a fun time last time. $5 venue, $15 entry. Pull up the challenge page. I don't remember the name of it, dude. You think I remember the name of that tournament? I couldn't even remember how much money I made from it. It was $550. That's crazy. Also, yeah, they probably used challenge. I'm sure they didn't use Smash GG back then, right? Now it's Star GG, formerly Smash GG. I'm sure they used challenge, but I don't remember the name of it. What the fuck? So, I think it was 19 people. They said it was like 16. I can't even remember because that's what I'm saying. So let's go 19 times 15. And let's say it was 60%, not 70. I don't know what happened. Look how much. And yes, once again, I won. Preface that 60% of the pot that was paid out, I won. I won significantly less money, $170-ish. But I still went knowing that I was going to win way less money because I didn't go to win money. I went to have fun, play in a friendly competition, hang out with people, and enjoy the experience. Now, in this instance, I'm the 1%. I'm the top 1%. Whoa, that's so cool. Top 1%. He's fucking getting fed off fighting games or whatever, right? In the very early days of Soul Calibur 6 here in South Texas, I was basically an unstoppable force, which is very unfortunate because there's so many really strong players who are way better than me now. Probably not in my region. I guess if there was still big tournaments going on down here, I'd probably do well in most of them. But that's besides the point. The point is, you want to make sure that the rest of the percentage, the 99% of players, the not top 1%, are being fed in a way that is helpful to their experience, right? Sure, they're not getting fed in the money sense, right? They're not making $170 by playing Soul Calibur or making $550 by playing Soul Calibur or Mortal Kombat or Smash, whatever fighting game it may be. They're being fed an experience that is so fun and so cool that they want to continue coming back. It's not about the money. And that's why Steve and Kazi are banned. Sure, right? If the 99% of the community is clamoring for a character or a player to be banned, damn, a character or a player, fuck, a character, a player, or a stage to be banned, probably worth banning so that you don't lose a large chunk of the people who show up for your events. Because if less people show up for your events, venue's making less money, and if your venue's making less money, your venue might not allow you back next time because the money is just not good enough. They could do something else that weekend and make more money than they would make running your event. It's true. Like, I don't like to say that, oh, Steve needs to be banned. Steve is broken. Kazi is broken. But if enough of the community wants them banned, there's no reason not to ban them. You're right. That's actually facts. Like, I've never really thought about it that way because normally I just call Smash players who want Steve and Kazi banned fucking crybabies. But they're right. That's why Matera isn't banned, because enough of the community is like, no, we like Matera. We want Matera's hot. Keep her. He should be banned, but all the net play tournaments will lose 80% of their players. That's crazy. What? The 80% of the online player base of the online tournament player base is playing Matera. Is that the bow chick in Grand Blue? Is she brutally broken, or is her kit just really dumb online? Is she broken, or is her kit just really stupid online? That's the question. Net play character? Ah, fair enough, yeah. Because I was like, I don't remember anyone offline saying, like, Matera's broken, Matera's crazy, this character's, like, top 1, best character in the game. But a net play character for net play tournaments is really obnoxious. That's fair. Man, I haven't used this stick in forever. Look at this old thing. People still complain about Matera? Yeah. Netera. Look at this old thing, dude. Oh, I don't even have my door anymore. I lost my door.